So here I am in the back of the van. I've got the angle grinder out and I've got a cutting disc on it. And I'm just cutting away the edges of these supports. I'm trying my best not to go anywhere near the outside skin. Wouldn't really matter if I was cutting straight through today, but I'm not going to be. I'm just doing just want to take these inside bits off today, and then we'll cut the panel off with the jigsaw tomorrow. So you just need to take your time with this. Just be careful, you know, what you don't go through the outer skin, especially if you're not doing it straight away. And these bars are siliconed to the panel as well. These are to stop the booming effect that you get with empty vans. It cuts it down quite a bit actually, anyway. Doesn't eliminate it altogether. This is why you need to put sound deadening mat onto the sides of your van when you do it. Okay, so that's those off. This is the next morning and I'm doing a test fit for the glass. I would advise you, if you're doing this, to get a hold of a couple of these suction things that go onto the glass. Makes handling it a lot easier, and they're only, I think I only paid about £7, £8, something like that for the pair from eBay. Well worth it. Saves you getting finger marks all over the glass, and it's a lot easier to position it. So I'm just giving it a wash over here with a little bit of it's just water with a little bit of washing up liquid in. I didn't want to use any rubbing alcohol or anything because there is a black area on here that you have to activate to put the silicone onto, and I didn't want to risk the alcohol doing any damage to it. So here we are. We're going to go around with the drill now. I'm drilling out 1/2-inch holes all the way around on the corners, and now here we are outside, and I'm just joining up those end holes just to mark out where I'm going to be using the jigsaw. And then we just work our way around with the jigsaw. And I replaced the blade again, just to make sure we've got a nice, clean, easy cut. When I put the holes through with the drill, I kept the holes close against the inside skin. There's 2 skins, so you just follow it around so you get the size that you need to cut out. It's quite simple, really. Now, I learned my lesson with the previous video. I've used some gaffer tape on this to stop it falling out altogether. And now I'm inside the van just removing it, and that's the panel out altogether. Now I've got the angle grinder out again, and I'm just tidying up any high spots that have been left where the jigsaw hasn't cut to the bottom of the drill hole. So I'm just smoothing it out, getting it. I mean, you're going to put a cover on this anyway, so there's a trim that goes around. So I'm just cleaning it now with some rubbing alcohol, making sure that all the greasy bits and everything's off it, make sure it's perfectly clean, ready to accept the primer. I'm going round with some hammerite here just to cover the edge. This is the inside part of the glass. You can see the black band around the outside. This is the bit you need to activate and put the primer on. This is the little activation wipe. It cleans it and it activates the black area So we'll just give it a good wipe over. This is to get rid of any other grease and finger marks or anything like that. I'm wearing a pair of gloves here. I should have kept it on for the whole thing because I did end up with some of the silicone on my fingers and it took quite a while to get it off. But I took them off because it was absolutely red hot that day and my hands were sweating like mad. So this is the primer. When you put the primer on, you need to put it on one coat. Don't sort of paint over it like you would with a normal, if you were painting with a normal paint. You need to do one stroke with this. Just squeeze the excess out against the side of the bottle. The applicator is like it's like a large cotton bud on the end of a piece of wire. And you see I'm just doing one stripe all the way down. Don't go over it again, just do one application. And then your next one needs to be right underneath that one. Don't go over it at all though. And then just work your way around. Once you have all of this done, you need to leave it to dry. I left it for about 30 minutes, but it was actually probably dry in about 10 to 15. Like I say, it was a very hot day that day. I think it was about 25 degrees, something like that. Now I'm applying the primer to the bodywork of the van as well. Same thing, just one smooth application, don't go over it again. So I'm doing one line there and then the next one is directly underneath. And just work your way around. I'm doing a large area here at the bottom of the panel. I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to put the mastic at the time, so I thought I'd just cover the whole lot. Now here I'm putting the trim on. It just knocks on quite easily. Just started in the middle at the bottom and then worked my way all the way around, just tapping it on as I go around. This is after the hammerite's dried, obviously. And then when you get near to the middle again, just tap it right up to where you started, and then when you cut it about 1/8 of an inch past, so you've got 1/8 of an inch excess, and then lift off about 6 inches, and then put the ends together, and then reattach the piece that you've lifted off. Now we've got the silicone here. I had this sitting in the sun to soften it for quite a while. It was actually very soft. When you're doing it, keep your silicone gun, keep it at a 90-degree angle. The idea is that the height of the silicone needs to be about 1.5 times the base width. So just work your way all the way around. Now here I'm attaching two L-shaped pieces of cardboard. This is just to give me a reference of where the edge of the glass needs to go, because obviously I can only see to one end. I can see where it goes onto the left, but I can't, from where I'm standing, I can't see it straight away where it is on the right hand side. So those two pieces of cardboard will give me a good reference. If I know I'm butted up against those, I know I'm in the right position. So I'll put the left top corner in first, and then the top edge, and then just slowly place it on. Place the left hand side down, and then just attach the whole thing. And just press it on. It sticks straight away. And I'm just going around the edges just to make sure it's on properly. Just checking the gaps as I'm going around. So the silicone was very soft. That was probably actually a little bit too soft, to be quite honest. As you'll see in a few minutes, I had to move there. You see, I'm having to move it again just to try and keep the gap the same. Just get it into the right position. I'm just checking that edge to make sure it's in the right position. Now I'm going to add some tape just to hold the glass in place, just to stop it dropping. Now I'm using gaffer tape here. Learned my lesson from my previous video, where masking tape doesn't really hold it enough. And this is quite a large piece of glass, this. So I wanted something pretty substantial that was going to hold it in position. Didn't want it sliding down in the middle of the night. Or during the day, I should say, you know. Didn't want it drying out of position. I think I attached about 6 or 7 different pieces. The sun's right in my eyes as well, so I can't really see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to check the position again. Now it has slipped slightly, so I need to lift it up. Repositioning it again. Now that I'm happy with the position, I'm putting the final bits of tape on. And that's it done. This is the view from the inside. And that's the view finished when the tape was removed. So thanks for watching. I hope this has been of some help to you.